Hey guys, what's going on? Brady Joker here. Sorry for a bit of a delay on this one. End of school is coming up, which means tons of work and exams, so that's not really fun. As well as I'm working on a short film. Yes, my very own short film that I will be posting on this channel, hopefully on May 20th. So that's been consuming a lot of my thinking time and, actual time. So I haven't really been thinking about watching movies as well as making videos. But yeah, we're making the video now, so yeah, let's just get started. We're going to be doing the ranking, but this time we're going to be ranking two different lists. We're going to be ranking all of the new watches and ranking all of the rewatches, because I think that's a bit more fair to the new watches. So yeah, with that being said, let's get started with the bottom of the barrel for this month. Okay, bottom of the barrel, 16 is Airhead. This is the new little 1-minute short film that is completely AI generated. If you want to see the issues that I have with this, I mean, just go watch Karsten Rundquist's video on the subject and the actual film, because pretty much it mirrors exactly how I feel about it. It's just stupid. It's so dumb. We're moving on. Okay, number 15 is Millions. Go watch my Danny Boyle video. I'm gonna say that with a ton of these films because a lot of them are Danny Boyle films. So yeah, just go watch that. But long story short, I did not find this movie enjoyable at all. I kind of hated it. I kind of hated every single character. It was kind of just really bad, and it did not fit Danny Boyle's direction at all, in my opinion. Okay, 14 is Yesterday, another Danny Boyle film that just didn't really do much for me. I thought it had an interesting premise, just kind of ruined on the execution, in my opinion. Okay, 13 is The Man on the Moon. This is a very weird one, as it's kind of blah. It's weird. It's actually really weird, to be honest, and wasn't really sad. I watched it for my class. We started our film analysis study, and it was just like, we watched this movie of all films. I didn't really understand my teacher's thought process behind that one. And look, I didn't hate it. It was more funny than anything, in my opinion, just because of how off the wall bizarre this movie was at times. But yeah, I mean, it's a very fine movie. Okay, 12 is Trance. This is another Danny Boyle film. This is his take on kind of an action suspense thriller movie, and it's decent. It's not the worst thing in the world. Again, I think the execution is what kind of ruins this, as well as kind of the final act. I thought the setup and the first 30 minutes were great, had a lot of potential, and then it just kind of ruined it with the rest of the film. Okay, number 11 is M. Yep, the very classic 1931 film is not even cracking top 10 on new watches. And look, I understand its influence. I get how ambitious this film was, and honestly still is to this day. I mean, there's still shots in this movie where I watch them and I'm like, wow, that's a cool shot, even in today's standards. So it's revolutionary for sure. However, the movie was so inconsistent with its quality, in my opinion. I really liked the first couple scenes, kind of lost me for a little, and then it picked it back up when the chase started to ensue, and then it completely lost me once people started getting questioned and stuff. It was really weird. And then the final 20 minutes were excellent, really good, but it was just so tonally off, and it was just kind of a snooze to get through at times. I didn't hate it. In fact, I thought it was pretty darn good. So this was a great month of new watches. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But yeah, it was good. Go watch it if you're into classic movies and revolutionary, influential films. But for me, it just didn't really do that much. Okay, number 10 is The Cat in the Hat. This is just the original cartoon classic. It's a nice little short animated film. I mean, it's The Cat in the Hat. This is an iconic movie. It's literally The Cat in the Hat. This was pretty much, I think, my first time watching it all the way through. We watched it in my psychology class. And it was, yeah, it's The Cat in the Hat, bro. What else do I need to say? Oh God, another hot take. Number 9 is The Seventh Seal. This is another very classic and very highly regarded movie, kind of like M, that just didn't do much for me. Again, I liked it. It was a good film, decent time. It's just, I'm not really into these really in-depth religious films. They're just not really my thing, personally. I think the performances are awesome. And I kind of noticed it's basically just Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, but its predecessor, old black and white, and instead of a cool fight scene where he says, pick it up, it's a chess game where it's checkmate. So that was just kind of what I took away from the film. It's very entertaining, as Death is kind of this massive aura guy, but I mean, it's a good movie, okay? It's revolutionary. It's my first Ingmar Bergman. I really want to watch more of his films, but this was not a great start. Again, it was a good start because I liked it. Not my favorite. I feel like on a rewatch it could get better, but... Okay, number 8 is Blade Runner, the original. I finally got around to it. Oh, it's been on my list for so long. And look, I liked it. Again, this could be another very big hot take. I liked it. I did. It's just these very complex sci-fi films are kind of not my thing and kind of confuse me a lot. Roy Batty was amazing. I love him. He's such a good villain. He carried pretty much every scene he was in, and that final like 20-30 minutes of him and Harrison Ford kind of battling out was awesome. That was awesome. That carried the film for me. But everything leading up to it was a good little action film, but it wasn't anything incredible, you know what I'm saying? It was pretty good. I liked it. So yeah, I liked the movie. It looked really nice, especially for, what was this, 84? Something ridiculous, and it looks really good. So again, I liked it. Okay, number 7 is Sunshine. Again, this is a Danny Boyle film, so go watch that. But I thought this was another really interesting sci-fi film that, again, just didn't really do much for me. I mean, it was good. It was good. I liked it. Cillian Murphy was great. I even really liked Chris Evans in this one, but it was kind of weird. The final act really kind of took a nosedive for me, in my opinion. And it wasn't huge. It didn't invest me really quickly, but I really enjoyed the middle act of the film. So yeah, it was fine. Moving on. Number 6 is Falling Down. This is a movie that my friend Ethan has been begging me to watch for the last, I don't know, 2 years. So, okay, maybe not 2 years, but like a year and a half. He has been like, Brady, have you watched Falling Down? I'm like, no, sorry, man. And yeah, it was actually really great. I really liked it. Michael Douglas is so awesome. I love Michael Douglas. I mean, the game was excellent. So I did really enjoy this. Some of the cop stuff, the cop plot lines kind of bored me a little bit. I just really liked watching Michael Douglas causing havoc around everywhere. That was way more entertaining in my opinion. And it low-key kind of throws in like a Pulp Fiction, where it's just like there's this really weird side plot that kind of comes out of nowhere that kind of just 180s everything going on, as Pulp Fiction also has that with Bruce Willis. But yeah, I enjoyed the one in this movie a lot more than in Pulp Fiction. But this movie was great, had a great ending. Nothing else really to say. Great film all around. Okay, number 5, Blade Runner 2049. A movie that, again, some people would claim should be number 1 on this list. But, you know, sorry, look. Okay, we're bordering films now that I really like. I really like this film. One, it looks incredible. Like, oh my God, it's so visually beautiful. I cannot stress that enough. 2, the acting is incredible. Ryan Gosling, this is easily probably my favorite performance I've seen him in, though I really haven't seen that many Ryan Gosling movies. I haven't even seen Drive yet. And yeah, again, kind of like the original Blade Runner, there's just some confusing stuff towards the beginning that I wasn't huge on. It took me a bit to get invested, and then once we got rolling in the second act, I was like, okay, this is great. And then the final act came and I was like, oh my God, the last 30 minutes is like the best thing I've ever seen. And then what an ending. Oh my God, how do you end a movie so perfectly? I don't know. Ask Denis, because this film was great. I really love this one. Number 4 is Steve Jobs. I really love Steve Jobs. This is like, I think people are like, you love Steve Jobs this much? Like when I talked about this movie, and I remember I put it in my top 4 on Letterboxd. If you don't know what I do on Letterboxd, I basically rotate my top 4 every single month with my favorite 4 new watches. I put those as my top 4. And I was making it that, and my friend Ty, who is also like a film guy, he was like, you're putting Steve Jobs in your top 4? I was like, bro, dude, you haven't seen it. It's so good. It's so amazing. Danny Boyle's direction in this is incredible. The performances are all incredible. The pacing is perfect. I genuinely think this is an excellent film that it has a bit of a subject material problem where it's not something I particularly care about, but I really loved everything else about the movie. It's excellent. Go watch it. Number 3, Leon the Professional. Holy moly. I did not expect this to be that freaking good, bro. Oh my god. The French teacher in my school actually has this poster on her wall, and I was like, I need to watch it. It's been on my list for so long, and I finally got around to it because I saw it was on Netflix, and I was like, no one told me this movie was that good, okay? I figured it would be a decent watch, but dude, what? This is like a borderline 5 for me, okay? This movie did so much that I just wasn't expecting. It had incredible action, great emotional beats, very amazing acting, and absolutely perfect ending. It invested me immediately into what was happening. It was never confusing. The pacing was great. It was genuinely amazing. The only thing I wasn't huge on was that, you know, it kind of felt a little weird between Natalie Portman and the guy who plays Leon. I mean, I understand that it's the dad and daughter relationship, but there were moments where it kind of felt a little bit worse than that. I don't want to get any further into it, but it didn't bother me personally as much as I feel like some people it would bother. But anyways, I loved this movie like so much, bro. Go watch it if you haven't. It's on Netflix, bro. Okay, and my second favorite watch this month was Dune Part 2. I also rewatched it, so I won't include this on the rewatch list. But this, man, wow, yeah, it's as good as everyone says it is. I didn't believe them. I did not think I would love this as much as I did, but I really did, especially because I didn't love the first one, if you remember from my last month video. But oh my god, how is this movie so good? I don't get it. It's Paul Atreides' aura is unmatched, bro. It's insane. The movie is near 3 hours, never felt that way. Oh my god, again, like a lot of the movies I watched this month, the whole final act is like perfect, bro. Like, so good. You guys have seen this movie. If you haven't, like, everyone has watched this movie on planet Earth, and everyone's talking about it. I don't need to add anything. I think it's a near perfect film. It's a 5. It's Dune Part 2, bro. And Amadeus is the best new watch of the movie, and yeah, it's not hard to see why, man. It kind of clears, like, it smokes Dune Part 2 in regards of a new watch. It is in my top 20 movies of all time, and I haven't put a movie in my top 20 probably since I watched The Holdovers for the first time last November. So it's been a while since I've put a movie in my top 20. And man, Amadeus, where do I even begin? It's the whole shebang. You get everything. It is a perfect film. You get everything. Tom Hulce, is that how you pronounce it? Should have won the Oscar. Look, F. Abram Murray, I believe, or F. Murray Abram, whatever his name is, gave a great performance as Salieri. But I'm sorry, Tom Hulce as Mozart is in my top 20 performances of all time. Dude should have won the Oscar. And it's also not hard to see why this movie as a whole won 7 Academy Awards. I mean, that's pretty good, man. The movie is just simply incredible. And if you don't like opera, then it might not be your thing the whole way through, because there are some like long scenes of opera. There's probably like a couple 5-minute scenes of it just being opera, which I personally love. I think it's really cool. But some people might not like that, and that might turn some people off for a little bit. But seriously, even if you don't like opera, the whole movie is not about opera. Again, my buddy Ty that I was talking about earlier, he watched it, he was like, I don't like opera, so I gave it a 4.5, but everything else was amazing. So I was like, go watch this movie. The ending, oh my god, the music, oh my god, it's so good. The laugh. Amadeus is a masterpiece. It's one of the best films ever made. I love it. Okay, now we're gonna run through the rewatches. We're gonna kind of do this pretty quick, because I've probably already talked about most of the movies on here. So we're gonna like run through these real quick here. Okay, so the worst rewatch was Shrek the Third. It's Shrek the Third, bro. This movie sucks. It's terrible. It's atrocious. It ruined Shrek. If it wasn't for this film, Shrek Forever After would be looked at as a masterpiece, which we'll talk about very soon. But yeah, Shrek the Third sucks. I can barely remember anything about it, and I just freaking watched it. It's awful. Just skip it. It's not canon, okay? Next rewatch is Up. I rewatched this, and it was good. It's great. I always forget how effective and how powerful the opening sequence is, and the rest of the movie isn't anything extraordinary. It's just a really fun time. If you don't like Up at all, like, bro, I look at you weird. Up next is Shrek. It's Shrek. It's Shrek. What more do I have to say? It's amazing. The central relationship between Shrek and Donkey is incredible here, as well as Shrek and Fiona. It's just really well written. It's actually like a good movie. Memes aside, it is a really well written, well put together, well structured, well paced film. It's Shrek. It's great, okay? Up next is my rewatch of Shrek Forever After. Bro, the most underrated film ever made. I think this is a narrative masterpiece that perfectly concludes the Shrek trilogy, because again, the third one doesn't count. So Shrek 1, 2, and Forever After is the true trilogy of the Shreks, and this one is so amazing. I don't understand what people don't see in this movie, but it is simply incredible. It's better than the original, and it is near a 5-star for me because it has some of the best moments in the entire Shrek series. It's not as funny, but it's dark. It's great drama. Like, it's so good. The animation is at its peak for the Shrek films. I don't understand the hate that this movie gets. I think it's easily the second best in the whole series. And next is The King of Comedy. Oh my lord, it's been a year since I've watched it, and I forgot just how freaking good this movie is. It is, again, like the last one, it's a borderline 5. It has my favorite De Niro performance still. It's such a fun Scorsese film, but it's also not fun. It's a tragic film disguised as a comedy, which I love. I think it's really genius. The final performance is, wow, it's so good. The whole scheme, and it's just such a fun movie. Rupert Pupkin is so freaking good. It's such a good movie, bro. If you don't like The King of Comedy, I don't like you. Up next is my rewatch of Shrek 2. In fact, I rewatched it twice because of how good it is. I rewatched it in theaters because it got re-released for its 20th anniversary, which was a blast, as well as I then rewatched it 2 or 3 days later with my mom at home just because how much I love it. It's a true masterpiece. It is actually a perfect film. The I Need a Hero sequence is one of the, if not the best sequence in any animated film I've ever seen. It's consistently funny. Every joke lands. It's got great emotional beats. The drama is good. The arcs are insane. The themes are great. It is truly a masterpiece. The villain is amazing. The side characters are fun. It's so good. If you don't like Shrek 2, you're missing something big in your life. Seriously. And second place is I rewatched 127 Hours for my Danny Boyle video. This is my childhood movie. It's absolutely incredible. Its themes on survival, the will to survive, morality, reflection. It's everything I love about a movie. James Franco's performance is incredible. The ending is incredible. It's such a powerful and emotional film that just hits me so hard. It's not a conventional 5-star. In fact, this has a 3.5 on Letterboxd, which I think is insane. I don't care. This movie is incredible. It's a masterpiece. It's in my top 15 of all time. It's perfect in every sense of the word. And my favorite rewatch of the month was Punch Drunk Love. It's in my top 10 of all time. I bought it on YouTube because of how good it is. Literally, I don't need to say anything else. I've talked about this movie twice already. 3 times because I then talked about it in my PTA video. It's literally perfect. No more words. It's perfect. Everything about it is flawless. I love it. And that's what I watched in April Ranked. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Of course, if you want, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.